The first key to embracing unshakable strength lies in accepting reality exactly as it is without the illusions of wishful thinking or desperate hope. Many people live their lives clinging to fantasies of how things should be rather than facing the world as it actually exists. They nurture hopes that someone will return, that circumstances will magically change, or that others will recognize their worth. This attachment to outcomes outside of their control creates a fragile emotional state where every disappointment chips away at their stability. To cultivate inner strength, one must let go of these attachments and meet life head on, grounded in reality. Acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity, rather, it is an acknowledgement the world will not bend to our desires, and that suffering often comes from resisting what is. When you stop fighting reality and instead respond to it with clarity, your decisions become sharper, your actions more deliberate, and your emotional equilibrium more resilient. Facing reality also requires honesty with oneself. This means recognizing your own role in outcomes, acknowledging mistakes, and understanding your limitations. It is easy to blame others or circumstances, but doing so only strengthens dependency and externalizes your sense of control. By taking ownership, you reclaim your power. You understand that while you cannot control everything, you can control your reactions, choices, and attitudes. The shift is transformative because it moves your energy from futile attempts to manipulate the world into meaningful self mastery. Every situation, no matter how adverse, becomes a training ground for resilience, teaching patience, prudence, and emotional regulation. Acceptance of reality also extends to relation. Many emotional struggles stem from unrealistic expectations of others, expecting loyalty, understanding, or love to manifest exactly as one hopes. When these expectations are unmet, it breeds resentment, disappointment, and despair. By seeing people as they are rather than as we wish them to be, we reduce emotional vulnerability. We stop clinging to behaviors that will never be and instead navigate connections with clarity and composure. This perspective fosters peace because our contentment is no longer contingent upon another's actions or feelings. Furthermore, embracing reality strengthens decision making. When you see circumstances clearly without the distortions of hope or wishful thinking, you are free to make choices based on facts rather than illusions. This clarity allows you to act with precision, to invest your energy wisely, and to disengage from situations that are not aligned with your true well being. It also nurtures patience. When you are not driven by desperation or fear of loss, you can wait for opportunities that genuinely serve your purpose rather than grasping at what is convenient or illusory. Ultimately, the first key to unshakable strength is the courage to face life without pretense, to abandon the comfort of false hope, and to respond to reality with presence, clarity, and deliberate action. This is the foundation upon which all other aspects of inner resilience are built. By anchoring yourself in what is rather than what you wish, you create a stability that cannot be shaken by circumstances or by the unpredictability of others. The moment you stop clinging to illusions, you begin to reclaim true freedom and strength. The second key to cultivating unshakable strength is mastering emotional detachment, the ability to separate your sense of self worth from external validation and uncontrollable outcomes. Most people's emotional stability is tethered to events, opinions, or actions of others. A kind word or recognition can lift their spirits, while criticism, rejection, or disappointment can shatter them. This dependency creates a fragile foundation for inner strength because the world is inherently unpredictable, and relying on it for validation ensures continual instability. To become unshakable, one must learn to anchor their value internally, independent of approval, outcomes, or circumstances. Emotional detachment does not mean becoming cold or indifferent. It means cultivating a clear eyed understanding of what you can control, your choices, reactions, and mindset, while releasing attachment to what you cannot. Detachment begins with awareness. Recognize the moments when your emotions are being hijacked by someone else's words, actions, or indifference. When you feel frustration, jealousy, or despair rising, pause and reflect. Is this within my control? Am I letting someone else dictate my sense of worth? By observing your emotional responses rather than automatically reacting to them, you create a space between stimulus and response. This gap is crucial because it is within it that true choice exists. Instead of being pulled by impulses or fears, you can act deliberately, guided by reason and long term vision rather than momentary emotional urges. Another essential aspect of detachment is understanding impermanence. Life is in constant flux, and all situations, relationships, and outcomes are temporary. By internalizing this truth, you stop clinging desperately to moments, people, or circumstances. This does not foster apathy, rather, it fosters clarity. You engage fully in life without fear of loss or obsession with control. When someone acts distant or a desired outcome fails to materialize, detachment allows you to respond calmly, without panic, without resentment, and without the destructive spiral of anxiety or overthinking. You maintain composure, preserving your energy and focus for actions that truly matter. Detachment also strengthens relationships and interactions. By being emotionally self reliant, you interact from a place of confidence and clarity rather than neediness. People are naturally drawn to those who are composed and self assured because such energy signals stability and maturity. At the same time, detachment does not mean withdrawing from connection. It means loving and engaging without dependency, without desperation, and without expectation. You appreciate others without giving them the power to destabilize your emotional core. Ultimately, mastering emotional detachment transforms vulnerability into power. You no longer allow others' actions, the unpredictability of life, or unmet desires to dictate your inner state. You develop the ability to navigate challenges with clarity, patience, and strength unshaken by external chaos. This principle lays the foundation for resilience, composure, and the freedom to act with intentionality rather than reaction. By cultivating detachment, you reclaim your mind, emotions, and life from external forces, building an unshakable core that cannot be moved by circumstances or the whims of others. The fourth key to building unshakable strength is embracing the discipline of consistent action, even when motivation is absent and external results seem distant. Many people wait for the right moment or for feelings of inspiration to drive them forward, but life rarely aligns with such ideal conditions. Waiting for perfect circumstances or emotional readiness leads to stagnation, frustration, and dependency on factors outside of your control. True inner strength emerges from committing to action regardless of fear, doubt, or discomfort. By cultivating the habit of persistent, deliberate effort, you develop resilience and self-trust that cannot be shaken by external events or fleeting emotions. Discipline in action begins with clarity of purpose. You must understand not only what you want to achieve, but also why it matters to you. This why becomes the anchor that carries you through moments of uncertainty or resistance. When you act with purpose, even small steps taken consistently accumulate into meaningful progress over time. The cumulative effect of daily effort builds momentum, fortifying your confidence and creating proof of your capability. You begin to internalize the truth that your results are a product of your consistent choices, not luck or approval from others, which reinforces self-reliance and reduces vulnerability to external influence. Another vital aspect of disciplined action is learning to tolerate discomfort. Growth and strength rarely arise in comfort zones. Every meaningful pursuit, whether personal mastery, emotional resilience, or success in relationships, requires navigating challenges, enduring setbacks, and persevering through uncertainty. By embracing discomfort as part of the process, you train yourself to remain composed and focused under pressure. This mental conditioning reduces fear and impulsive reactions, allowing you to respond strategically rather than emotionally when difficulties arise. Over time, you develop a sense of control over your own mind and actions, a cornerstone of unshakable strength. Consistency also builds credibility and reliability, both to yourself and to others. When you act with steadfastness, you prove that your commitment is genuine and not dependent on fleeting emotions or external validation. This fosters a deep sense of self-respect and earns the trust of those around you. Others recognize the stability in your presence, which amplifies your influence and the respect you command. The combination of personal reliability and internal discipline establishes a form of quiet power that is far more compelling than external displays of force or dominance. Moreover, embracing consistent action nurtures patience. Life rarely unfolds on the timeline we desire, and instant gratification often undermines long-term growth. By practicing patience alongside discipline, you train yourself to focus on what truly matters, resisting distractions and short-term temptations. You learn to act deliberately, prioritizing meaningful progress over immediate rewards, and in doing so, cultivate a calm confidence that is immune to external turbulence. Ultimately, the practice of consistent, disciplined action transforms ambition to tangible results and uncertainty into composure. It allows you to navigate life's challenges with resilience, maintain control over your inner state, and create a sense of mastery over your circumstances. This principle ensures that your strength is not dependent on external conditions, but is anchored firmly within your own choices and habits, creating a foundation of unshakable power. The fifth key to cultivating unshakable strength lies in mastering emotional detachment without becoming cold or indifferent. True strength is not the absence of feeling, but the ability to maintain clarity, composure, and rational thought even in the midst of intense emotional turbulence. Life is full of experiences that can trigger fear, anger, sadness, or frustration. Most people react impulsively to these emotions, allowing them to dictate decisions and behaviors. However, a person of inner strength understands that emotions are signals, not commands. By observing emotions objectively, you prevent them from controlling your actions and can respond with intention rather than instinctive reaction. Emotional detachment begins with self-awareness. It requires a deep understanding of your emotional patterns, triggers, and habitual responses. You must learn to pause and observe your internal state before acting. This pause creates space for reflection, allowing you to consider the consequences of your actions and make choices aligned with your values and long-term objectives. For example, when faced with criticism or rejection, instead of reacting defensively or with anger, you can assess whether the feedback has merit, respond calmly, or choose to disengage if the situation is unproductive. This ability to maintain equilibrium under pressure is a hallmark of unshakable strength. Another crucial aspect of detachment is separating self-worth from external validation. Many people tie their sense of value to the opinions, approval, or behavior of others. This dependency creates vulnerability, anxiety, and emotional volatility. A strong individual recognizes that their worth is intrinsic and independent of external circumstances. By grounding yourself in self-respect and personal principles, you become immune to the emotional highs and lows caused by others' approval or disapproval. This perspective allows you to maintain stability even when faced with betrayal, abandonment, or disappointment, because your foundation is internal, not external. Detachment also empowers better decision making. When emotions are intense, our judgment can be clouded, leading to choices that may satisfy temporary impulses but harm long-term interests. By cultivating emotional distance, you gain clarity, enabling strategic thinking and measured responses. For instance, in high-stakes negotiations or conflicts, someone who can detach from ego-driven reactions can navigate discussions more effectively, preserve relationships, and achieve outcomes that align with their objectives. The ability to remain calm and composed in challenging situations is not only empowering but also inspires confidence and respect in others. Furthermore, emotional detachment fosters resilience. Life is unpredictable and adversity is inevitable. By not allowing circumstances or others' actions to destabilize your emotional equilibrium, you can recover faster from setbacks and maintain momentum toward your goals. Detachment does not mean avoiding connection or empathy. It means engaging with the world without losing control of your inner state. You can care deeply and act compassionately while remaining unshaken by circumstances beyond your control. This balance between empathy and resilience defines a person of profound inner strength. Finally, Detachment strengthens focus and presence. When you are not consumed by fear, longing, or resentment, you can direct your energy toward what truly matters. Your mind is clear, your actions deliberate, and your priorities aligned with your long-term vision. This clarity enables you to act decisively and persistently rather than being distracted by emotional turbulence or the need for approval. Over time, this habit of measured detachment builds an unshakable foundation, allowing you to navigate life with confidence, calmness, and authority. By mastering emotional detachment, you cultivate a strength that is resilient, rational, and grounded, enabling you to respond to life's challenges with clarity, composure, and purpose while remaining true to yourself and your values. The sixth key to achieving unshakable strength is embracing the power of acceptance and understanding the limits of control. Life constantly presents circumstances beyond our influence, the actions of others, sudden changes, failures, or unexpected setbacks. Most people waste immense energy resisting these realities, struggling against what cannot be changed, and as a result, they drain their mental and emotional reserves. A person of true strength, however, recognizes that resisting what is beyond their control only amplifies suffering. By accepting reality as it is without unnecessary judgment or complaint, you free yourself to focus on what you can influence, your thoughts, reactions, and decisions. Acceptance is not passivity. It does not mean surrendering ambition or refusing to act. Rather, it is the conscious acknowledgement of the limits of your influence. For example, you cannot force someone to respect you or love you, but you can control your behavior, your boundaries, and how you respond to their actions. You cannot prevent life from presenting obstacles, but you can determine how you navigate them, how resiliently you adapt, and how much clarity you maintain in the process. Understanding these distinctions allows your energy to be directed towards solutions and growth rather than wasted on frustration or resentment. A crucial aspect of this principle is learning to let go of attachment to outcomes. Many people tie their happiness and self-worth to specific results, whether it's approval, success, or reciprocation. This attachment creates vulnerability, as external outcomes are inherently unpredictable and often beyond your control. By detaching from the need for a particular result, you cultivate a mindset rooted in internal stability. You act with intention, pursue your goals diligently, and invest effort wisely. But your sense of peace and self-assurance remains intact regardless of the outcome. This mindset empowers you to act boldly without fear, knowing that your worth and strength are not contingent on external validation. Acceptance also nurtures emotional resilience. When you stop fighting reality and instead confront it with clarity, you reduce unnecessary stress and anxiety. Difficult situations become opportunities for growth rather than sources of despair. By embracing what is, you can analyze challenges objectively, devise strategies, and respond effectively. This calm, measured approach attracts respect and inspires confidence both in yourself and in others. Furthermore, this practice cultivates humility and patience. Life rarely unfolds according to our immediate desires. By accepting circumstances and focusing on what is within your control, you develop patience for processes and humility in acknowledging that not everything is dictated by your will. This balance allows you to persist without frustration, to endure hardship without bitterness, and to remain grounded when success comes. Finally, mastering acceptance strengthens presence and awareness. When you stop struggling against reality, your mind is liberated from constant worry and regret. You become fully present, able to engage deeply with the moment, make clear decisions, and maintain composure under pressure. This presence is a form of inner power, a quiet strength that is both visible and deeply felt, enabling you to face life's uncertainties with unshakable confidence and peace. By embracing acceptance and focusing on what you can control, you develop a strength that is calm, resilient, and deeply grounded, allowing you to navigate life's challenges with clarity, purpose, and unwavering composure.